Good afternoon. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I'm here at 3371 Alana Drive in the Sherman Oaks area, and I'm in the process of performing the video examination of the main sewer line. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that is underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focused on the building drain line system. So if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. So I did find or see a 4-inch clean out in the slab of the garage floor, but I don't have access into that area yet. So what I've decided to do is I've dropped my camera in through a 3-inch clean out over here on the right side of the building, kind of near the back, near our master bedroom area, bathroom, and I've pushed through about 100 feet of pipe here. You'll see at the lower right of the screen to get to this point, to where this clean out is located. I'm just going to go ahead and continue pushing from here and basically start my examination here. We'll push through about 10-15 feet of pipe underneath the garage floor to get outside the structure and then into the main sewer line. Now, the clean-out access being in the garage is certainly reasonable. It's not exactly what we'd be looking for typically, but it's suitable and, like I said, reasonable access for maintenance of the system. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to zero out my counter. And start pushing from here. So what we're pushing through here is a modern plastic piping. So this section here has been upgraded. I guess I'm placed out under the garage and the driveway itself, all the way out to the curb face, or actually in this case the sidewalk. These modern plastic pipe materials, they are expected to have a long surface life. They have a very smooth inner surface, which allows for very high washout capabilities. In other words, they don't have a tendency to collect debris and have a high potential for blockages. And these modern plastics are also intended to be impervious to root intrusions. We're kind of running up along the left edge of the driveway here, up towards the street. And right here, just before we get to the sidewalk, you'll see we've got some roots that have compromised these connections here. As I was saying earlier, the modern plastic pipes are intended to be impervious to root intrusions. So when we see roots in plastic, it is considered a compromise to the integrity of the pipe, and it's something we're going to recommend for repair. And as we come up through this area, we're going to jog over a little bit and back to the left and connect back up to an original clay pipe. This connection also is intended to be sealed and keep the roots out. So basically, there's these last two connections here right before we get to the sidewalk have been compromised, and we're not standardly done or properly done, or something has occurred here, and those areas are now allowing roots in that would dictate a repair recommendation. As we get beyond that point, we're in an original clay piping, and we're seeing more roots at these joints. Now this is different. This is something that is considered common. These older clay pipes, they had mortar at the joints that sealed them and supported the pipe sections, and that mortar is a porous material, so it's very common to get roots in there, unlike the plastic connections that are either a chemical weld with the ABS compounds or the couplings that seal up those joints. Right, I'm going to get a little water running. Let me push the camera. up to the camera. It'll be a lot easier to push when that gets there. Now, these clay pipe materials, they were also expected to have a long service life. Being a natural material, they're less likely to deteriorate underground, but they are fairly brittle in nature and do have a higher potential for damage during seismic activity or earthquakes, and the root intrusions at those joints also can damage the pipe or damage those joint areas. Slide off, so there we go. Quite a bit of debris buildup through here. You see we've got some more root intrusions happening at the joints of this clay pipe. So, along with the repairs there towards the front of the yard, I'm also going to recommend the line be thoroughly cleaned. And then right here, as we get to our city connection, we're seeing some more root intrusions. But no obvious signs of any damage here. Dropping down into our public sewer. Right here at about 88 feet from the clean out in the garage area. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'll put some a red marker flag out in the planter area there to the left of the driveway, right up by the sidewalk, basically right where the mailbox is. It's about 5 to 6 feet deep there where those connections are at the in the plastic pipe that have been compromised, both at that plastic joint and at the connection of the plastic to the clay. So I'll be recommending that be excavated and a repair done to repair those connections. Other than that, the clay pipe under the street having root intrusions is considered normal or common, and we would recommend regular cleanings, typically annual maintenance on something like that, and regular video examinations to monitor the pipe. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video portion of the examination for today. Please do refer to my written report for the description of the final findings and recommendations for today's examination. Now, we do recommend that all main sewer lines should be examined after any significant seismic activity, and that main sewer lines be examined annually to monitor for changing conditions in a system. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant day.